negotiated, how he decided, how he dealt with the files. The old Gurukula kind of a thing. There was no need for him to explain, you must do like this with regard to file, you must do like this, because he asked me to sit with him right from the time he went to the bathroom in the morning to the time he went to bed in the night. I went with him along with the tours. I sat in his room and he dealt with the files. When he dealt with the files, he said, Raghavan, you know, this man wants a ticket, a license for cinema theatre, but this problem is this, that and the other. Concrete, right in front, up front. Therefore, I'm in the same way my Chief Secretary S.N. Roy. We were terribly, mortally afraid of him because of his stature. The elders, the leadership, if at all I can say categorically that what is wrong, I think the leadership by elders in service, in all services, not merely in IAS, the leadership by example, the leadership by conviction, the leadership by performance is wanting. So I think the elders in the service, when you look at them, the young people should know how to perform, how to. Number two, the politicians are the culprits most of the time. We think that they are the people who have spoiled everything and because of whom the country has gone to God. When we make the statement, kindly remember, a politician, he doesn't come from a different culture or stock. He is not differently educated. On the other hand, one good aspect today of politics, which was not there in my time, is that the representative assemblies, or sometimes even panchayats, have people who are PhDs, MAs, well educated. People, highly educated people are entering the state assemblies. Therefore, and the representative institutions. Therefore, we should not decry the politicians all the time. We should remember that he comes from the same culture or stock. And therefore, instead of decrying the politicians, the IAS should learn how to deal with them. Just I give a concrete example. Politician Varuma வந்து சொல்லிட்டு சார் எங்கள் இதில் வந்து 6 டியூப்வெல் போடுங்க சார்மா கலெக்டர் கிட்ட 6 டியூப்வெல் போடுங்க சார்மா. Now, the collector thinks, the IAS official thinks that it is political interference. He must remember that the politician is under a compulsion. He is a human being. He has to be elected every 5 years. Therefore, he will come and say that. He will say, give me 6 tubers. Only for the whole district, 40 tubers have been sanctioned and he wants the lion's share of it. He wants 8 tubers. Then the collector should be able to, what I used to do, I am telling you, this is God's own truth. I used to say, look, Sauran Babu, whole district has 80 tubers and there are 40 blocks. It comes to roughly 2 tubers. You are asking for 8 tubers and you know how people are and there should be some equity and fairness and justice. Tell me whether you would give to yourself 8 tubers. When the approach is made by throwing the onus on him, on his fairness and on his understanding, please take it from me. This is, I do not tell a lie right now. It never fails to convince. I have had no trouble with any politician in my life. I have never had to bow before any politician. I have dealt with Jyoti Basu, I have dealt with B.C. Roy, I have dealt with Atullah Ghosh, Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur, Charan Singh. No problem. Only thing is, we don't do that. The IAS people don't do that. They take the high horse, they ride the high horse, and they immediately conclude that the other discriminations. When a politician comes to a collector or a secretary and says, Sir, அவன் வந்து விஜயராகவன் வந்து கோயம்புத்தூர்ல இருக்கான், அவனை வந்து கொஞ்சம் விருதுநகருக்கு மாற்ற முடியும்னா மாற்றுவீங்களோ அப்படிங்கிறான் politician. Now, do we think it is political interference? He is under a compulsion. Maybe their wife is having cancer, there is a problem, therefore there is a genuine need. You go into the need, and if the need justifies it, transfer him from Coimbatore to Virudhunagar. Don't consider it as, you must be mature, balanced, understanding, accommodating, compassionate. There is a problem. Unnur IAS officer, if some other IAS officer, Shankar Narayanan, says the same thing, we do not take it as interference. If only so and so of MDMK or ADMK come and say, we think it is interference. But if Madhu comes and tells me, oh, Madhu, send me by email, I will take care of it. You see, that kind of a class distinction, that kind of a temperamental discrimination. Therefore, another cure is the IAS itself. There should be this kind of an understanding and integration or blend harmony in the functioning of these people. Finally, all these talks about whether it is good or bad or necessary or not necessary, boon, bane, ban, all these things will very soon become irrelevant, because there is a huge tsunami of technology. And technology is going to prove the greatest solver of all problems, technology. When e-governance comes, with the services becoming facilitators, umpires, mediators, and not overlords, technology will not allow anybody to become an overlord, or technology will make everybody an overlord. I'll give you two examples. Once upon a time, railway reservation, full of corruption. People used to go the previous night and sleep at the counter in order to be the first in the queue the next morning. And the next morning, the man sat there and spread a huge 6 by 6 feet ledger. And sitting there, he gave the form with an envelope in which 5 rupees had been put. So the clerk put the envelope in his pocket and said, then he opened that 6 feet by 6 feet ledger, all dog-eared, torn, and then he was writing, full of hassles. And you cannot book tickets from Tiruchi to Guwahati. You will have to book it from Tiruchi to Madras, come to Madras and book from Madras to Delhi, come to Delhi, book from Delhi to Calcutta, come to Calcutta, book Delhi to Guwahati, come to Guwahati and book it to Delhi to Dibrugarh, if you wanted to go to Dibrugarh from Kanyakumari. Technology has solved it. Or take the telephone lineman. Do you see a lineman nowadays? I used to see lots of linemen till about 20 years ago. They will come to my house, cut off my connection, and then come to me and say, your line poiduchu sir, 10 rupees kodutha sariya podum appadinna. Avane cut pannittu. Now 1 in 2 have what used to be a prestige possession, telephone. 1 in 2 in the present population. 900 million telephones, mobile phones you have in this country. Every vendor, every schoolboy, every fellow has got a mobile telephone. Therefore, technology, e-governance, you can get pattas, of course, Chandrababu, I don't know how much. Therefore, my point is, a time is coming when willy-nilly these services will become facilitators, harmonizers, helpers, mediators, umpires, rather than overlords, and technology will take care of it, and not very, very far away. It is coming, it has already come. And when e-governance comes, when I withdraw some money from my ATM, as I am drawing the money, this mobile phone rings. As I am drawing the money from the ATM, your account has been drawn by. And the iPhone 5 that the people are talking of, you know, I can track where you are. Everything will be known. I know Ramakrishna Raja is now in Savera Hotel and he is taking the car out. When he takes the car out and moves, the map in iPhone 5, the Google map, shows a green line showing where Ramakrishna Raja is going.
You can't say that I'm here in Savera. I'm not
You say,
here in
I
Savera.
cannot say any lies. Therefore, and then when you go for a walk, it gives you a full record of your walk. The green lines around the park which you use,